What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to be diving into our preview / prediction for the Detroit Lions game this Sunday against the Carolina Panthers. Are you as excited as I am? I hope you are, because I'm super excited. It's Friday. Oh, hold up, I already said that. Did I say that? I don't know. I'm excited. The Lions are going to play this weekend. It's Friday. Let's get it started.
You know, I got to shout out DoseOfDion, man, because it was actually the first time I went live on YouTube. And, you know, guys don't know DoseOfDion. He put out a lot of good content for the Detroit Lions.
Welcome everybody to another video. Glad you guys are here, and I think you guys can see the excitement. Okay, you guys can see the energy that I'm bringing. Hopefully, you guys are bringing it as well. If not, I'm gonna try to give it to you. Okay, like the Energizer Bunny, I'm hitting my drum. I'm trying to bring you all that energy. Okay, I'm excited. This is big. You know why it's big? Because it's football. Hey, look, I'm as always excited for game day, and we're 2 days away from that. It is Friday. We're making our preview / prediction video. So, you know, it's about that time. Now, we will have the injury report come out a little bit later today, about 4:30. That's a big injury report, so make sure you are there for that, because we're trying to figure out what's going on with Swift, what's going on with Kenny Golladay, Marvin Jones, Matthew Stafford, Teddy Bridgewater, right? There's a lot of big names that go into this, so make sure you guys are there. We won't know final for everything, okay? Some things we'll learn about, not everything, so you'll then have to wait till Sunday for the inactives, and maybe over the weekend we'll get some news, but it's a big injury report this week. I mean, both teams are kind of limping into this one, so we'll see how it goes. Now, let's dive into this. We're going to keep it with the advantage system. If you guys are new here, it's pretty darn simple, man. We look at 5 categories, okay? We look at 5 categories, and we give out some advantages. So, for example, the Lions passing offense against the Carolina Panthers passing defense. Who has the advantage there? By how many points? The advantages go like this: equal, 0.5, 1, 1.5, or 2. We kind of, you know, see how it ends up after the whole thing, like who has more points, and then we make our prediction. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that, okay, because they have more of an advantage, that team is going to win the football game. Okay, that's not always how our prediction goes, but it's kind of a nice little baseline just to see across the board who has the advantages where, at least in my opinion, from what I've seen on the film. So if you guys want more in detail look, if you guys want the film look, if you guys want, you know, that kind of thing, our offensive game plan and our defensive game plan video is already up. So let's get right into this thing. We're going to start off with the Lions rushing attack against the Panthers run defense. Now, before we get into it, I do want to point this out about the Panthers, is that they are a very, very fast starting team. Okay, the Panthers are one of the best teams in the first quarter. They're actually 3rd in the league in scoring in the first quarter, but where they struggle is out of the second half in the third quarter. They're one of the worst teams in the league in the third quarter. So this is a team in Carolina that likes to get up. They like to jump on people, and I feel like the Lions have done that a lot of times this year. Not every time, but for a good amount of their games, they've done that as well. So it's going to be interesting to see who comes out hot, right? Who comes out on top? Will this be a tie game at half? Because for the most part, if you're tied with Carolina at half, you're feeling good about your chances, because usually you're down. But the Lions are known for kind of getting off to hot starts as well. So we'll see. I mean, this is going to be interesting on paper to see how that plays out. I just want to point that out because I did miss it in my defensive game plan video. So now let's dive into this. So the Lions rushing attack against the Panthers run defense. And I know the stats will say, well, they allow 4.8 a game. It's going to be easy. That stat to me is very deceiving. I think the film tells a different story. And I think there's a certain way you can go about rushing the football and having success against this Carolina Panthers team, but you have to do it the right way. Otherwise, you're not going to have a very good game, because the Panthers have played defense, some run defense against certain teams this year, and they've looked really good. They gave up some really low numbers in terms of yards per carry. But in most games, what happens is that they give up a few chunk plays, maybe one huge play, like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They gave up a 98-yard run, and that's because they're so aggressive on defense. They're so aggressive to stop the run. They'll put 8, 9 guys in the box. They'll bring extra bodies, right? They'll bring blitzes to get stops. You know, they'll stack the box. They'll play super aggressive, and they're just going to try to fill those gaps right off the snap. So how do you help this run game? You have to set up by the pass. Hit them with some play action. Set up the run through the pass. Make them respect the fact that it could be a pass play. And it's kind of a little bit backwards. Usually they're saying, oh, set up the run. That way you can set up the play action. In this game, I think it's got to be the opposite. And if they're going to continue to play aggressive, what you have to do is mix in some delay runs, some draws, and now to the passing side, maybe some screens as well. But this is a team that wants to get after it. They're young. They're exciting, right? They're excited, I should say, right? They just want to get after it. They want to go out there and make some plays. They got a lot of speed in the front seven. And without DeAndre Swift, which is the big one here, who's expected not to play on Sunday, the Lions are losing a lot of speed. And I think against this team, you need to have speed in the running back room. So I'm looking towards Kerryon Johnson and Jonathan Williams to potentially have a big day if the Lions allow them to have the opportunities. I just don't think this is a perfect matchup for Peterson. In some games so far this year, it has been a good matchup. I think Washington was a good matchup for him. I don't know if this one is as much, but who knows? Maybe he'll prove me wrong. He'll go out there and ball out. But I think this does start with the passing attack actually opening up the run game. But in terms of who has the advantage here, I'm going to go with equal. So, yeah, the Panthers, they may be prone to give up some chunk plays, which you would think, okay, the Lions should have the advantage. But then again, the Lions are only averaging 4.2 yards per carry and 101 yards per game, which is below average. And they're without what looks like the number 1 running back, DeAndre Swift, most likely. Now, Swift can play. That's huge. I think the Lions would get a small advantage here. But since he's probably not going to, as of now, again, this could change. But as of now, when I'm recording this video, I'm going to keep it an equal. Yeah, I think there's no advantage here. I mean, I really can't pick one side or the other here. It's very difficult. So I'm going with equal here. Let's move on to the Lions passing attack. So the Lions pass offense, I dropped my marker, against this Carolina Panthers pass defense. Okay, so the Detroit Lions last week, they played the Washington football team, and it was like, wow, they're going to struggle to pass the football because the past 2 weeks against the Vikings and the Colts, Stafford was turning the football over. We're thinking to ourselves, how is this going to work? There's no Kenny Galladay. We haven't won a game without Kenny G. And we go out there and Stafford plays out of his mind. I think he played the best game of the season. With 16 seconds, we were able to get the ball downfield, get in a field goal range, win the football game. Our defense let up a little bit in the second half. But offensively, we were good. We scored in every single quarter, and this pass offense was rocking. But again, the question, once again, is who's healthy, right? Who's going to play? Now, I think Stafford's going to play. Don't want to jinx it. No, knock on wood. I think he will. You know, he pushes through a lot of things. And as long as you have Stafford, you got a chance, right? We understand that as Lions fans. But will Galladay play? He was limited on Wednesday, listed as no participation yesterday. Someone said that he did play a little bit, practiced a little bit, but he was listed as no participation. Kind of strange, but hey, I guess that's better than no participation. Marvin Jones, he returned, and Amendola seems like he's going to be out, but Agnew seems like he's going to be in. So a lot of moving pieces here. But for the Lions, where do you attack? I think, you know, if when they go into zone coverage, you have to look over the middle, okay? Tight ends are going to be big. Jesse James, TJ Hawkinson, they don't cover very well over the middle because their coverage linebackers are very, very below average. Aside from Jeremy Chin, who is a safety, percent makes sense that he would be solid in coverage, but they do struggle over the middle in coverage. So I think that's a place to attack, and the Lions have to be willing to take shots. Let Stafford take some shots, and again, that goes back to the first one. Open up the run game by taking shots, play action, take some shots down the field. They're not going to blitz that much. They only do it about 20% of the time. They will do it timely, but if you don't fall behind the sticks, which is where the Panthers want you, you're in a good spot because the Panthers will mix it. Sometimes they'll bring 3, sometimes they'll blitz when you're in 3rd and long. So you got to stay ahead of the chains, but be willing to take some shots, man. Take some shots down the field, especially if Galladay's back, especially if you still have Marvin Jones. Push the ball down the field. We saw last week against Washington, our first touchdown was a 55-yard bomb to Marvin Hall. Then we had a bomb to Marvin Jones Jr. Take some shots down the field, open up this defense, you know, and I think that's how the Lions are going to have to attack in this game. On the Carolina side of things, they have some injuries as well. It looks like Dante Jackson's going to be out. It's already expected he was. Matt Rule said that, I think, back on Wednesday. So you're going to see cornerbacks like Elder. You're going to see Troy Pride, Azul Douglas. You're going to see guys like Kenny Robinson. So the cornerback group slightly depleted without Dante Jackson, but there's already some questions there anyways. So again, for the Lions here, take some shots. Be willing to put the ball down the field. You know what? Take some risk here, okay? Take some shots to help open up your run game, and I think that's where the Lions will have success. After what I saw from the Lions last week passing the football without Kenny Galladay, they're going to have the advantage here. I'm going to give them a +1 advantage. I really believe in this passing attack with Stafford. If Stafford's on his A game, not many pass defense are going to be able to hold up. And statistically, the Panthers' pass defense isn't very good. So, you know, we'll see how that rolls out. Now on to the defense side of things, the Lions' run defense against the Panthers' rushing attack. Here's the big one, Christian McCaffrey. No McCaffrey. McCaffrey's not expected to play on Sunday, so that's a huge loss for them. Mike Davis will be there fill-in at that spot. Now, he's dealing with a thumb injury, but he's been full participation throughout the week. So, Mike Davis will get his opportunity to shine. They do have some solid running backs behind him, like Cannon, but they also have Curtis Samuel, who slide over to that running back position, and that speed is something that you got to worry about. 4.4 yards per carry as a team. This Panthers rushing attack really isn't that bad. I mean, their offense is pretty darn solid for the most part. I mean, missing some offensive linemen as well. It looks like Okungwu will be out, and potentially Miller, their right guard, I believe he is. So he could be out as well. So they could be missing some players there. I figured our Lions defensively, they need their defensive line to play really well. The reason being is because you need your linebackers to stay disciplined and stay home. Against Carolina Panthers, they like to get things to the outside, and they like to draw you all one way and hit you back the other way. If you have your linebackers flying around for those, all of a sudden you're going to be out of position. They're going to hit you with some big plays. So for the Lions defensively, if their defensive line can win off the point of attack, that will help the linebackers stay home, and then ultimately you'll have a better game defensively against the run. Now, the Lions' run defense has been really good. Since the Packers game, I mean, they've been really good against the run. 3.4 yards per carry last week against Washington. Since, you know, up to that game, 4 yards per carry since the Packers game. They've been very good at stopping the run recently, the Vikings game with the one exception, but still as a whole, they've been good at stopping the run. This is another close one for me. I mean, I really don't know who to give the advantage. I actually put it as equal again because I see the Panthers, if they have McCaffrey, definitely giving them the advantage. But without Christian McCaffrey, this one's like right in the middle because Lions' run defense has been much improved, but the Panthers aren't a bad rushing team. Like, they can run the ball. So wouldn't shock me if they had some success on the ground. I'm going to go with equal here. Finally, Panthers passing attack against the Lions passing defense here. Now, Teddy Bridgewater is the big question. Will he play? I'm going to act like he's going to play if he can't. They do have some backup options there with Walker and also with Will Grier out of West Virginia. But I'm assuming Teddy Bridgewater is going to be the guy to play in this game. And he's kind of a dink and duck type of quarterback. Kind of reminds you a little bit of Drew Brees. Remember, he was behind Drew Brees, so it makes sense. He's got the second highest completion percentage in the NFL as a team. The Panthers do. But I really look at this and say, okay, they're not going to force the issue. They're going to take what's given. So for the Lions defensively, they have to be willing to press up, be willing to play tight coverage, because if you give them a lot of space, they're just going to take what's there. They're just going to take what's given. So for the Lions in this game, I think you're going to see a lot of tighter coverage, which will actually help. Zone defense can work. Okay, you get tight, you play some zone coverage. It does work, but it's really about just staying consistent, going up, making tackles. Don't be missing tackles. Don't allow 5-yard passes turn into 20-yard passes. Just think of the Washington football game. Think of how that game went. That's what this game's look like. Bend, don't break. I mean, that's the defense philosophy in this game. You're going to bend. There's no question about it, but don't break. Okay, find a way to get off the field when you need to most, because the Panthers can move the ball. They just have some struggles at finishing off drives, honestly. So find a way to get off the field when you need it most, but really you're going to bend. They're trying to own time possession. They're going to be a team that's just take what's given. If you're going to get turnovers, you got to stop the run first to make them have to take some deeper passes, because even then they might not. But you have to stop the run first, make some plays behind the line. That'll be big. And then all of a sudden, if you can get some push in his face, he does lack some arm strength. He will have balls float. You can come up, make some plays. My bold prediction for defense was that Jeff Okudah gets an interception in this game. Somebody will, and I went with Jeff Okudah. The advantage there to Carolina +1. Well, it sounds like a lot, but the Lions pass defense, they're going to give a lot of yards. It's not a great pass defense. I mean, it seems like an average to below average pass defense, kind of what they are. And, you know, I think some improvements in communication, crossing routes, things like that. They're getting better in certain areas, but there's still a lot of room to improve. I think they'll actually help that they take a lot of underneath things and we tackle well at the cornerback position. But they're going to, if you're just going on terms of numbers, what's their completion percentage going to look like, how many yards they can put up, the advantage here goes to Carolina +1. So right now it's even. Finally, special teams. The Carolina Panthers, when it comes to kicking, they've missed all of their attempts over 50 yards. They've had 4 attempts over 50 yards. They missed them all, and they're kicking at 80% for field goals. Are 80%. For the Lions, they're 73.9%, but Matt Prater last week came alive and he hit a 59-yard field goal to beat the Washington football team. When it comes to DVOA, they're both very similar, and Jamal Agnew is back for the Detroit Lions, so he'll be the returner in this game. He should be. So I will give the 0.5 advantage here to the Lions. It's very close, but I always like to rock with my guy, Matt Prater. So as you can see, the advantages are close. It finishes off with the Lions plus 0.5 advantage. This is going to be a super competitive game, I believe, and I'm just excited to see who gets off to the hot start. What does it look like coming out of the half, right? Those are two things that I'm looking forward to here. We did players to watch. We did all of that in our game plan videos. So, yeah, here's my score prediction. Let me know yours down in the comment section below. Here we go. I got our Detroit Lions on the road. Right now, the Panthers, I think, are favored by 1.5 points. I got the Detroit Lions putting up, bam, well, that wasn't actually bad, 23 points in this game to the Panthers 20 points. I think the Lions find a way to get the win, and they are trying to get back to 500 season. If they can do it, with the Cardinals' loss last night, they're not in a bad spot. They're really not. So you got to keep winning your football games. That's all it is, man. Get to 9. Okay, that's got to be your goal. You got to get 9. You got to get 9 of them. Make it 10. That way, you know, if you don't get there, you get 9. Get to 9 wins. You got to beat the Panthers, and then we can head into the Thanksgiving week at 500. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'm out. Are you kidding me right now? I had to put my helmet on for this one. Are you kidding? Look at this. Look at all these members. What? Yo, hey, shout out to all the members, man. Look how many All-Pro members there are. Like, literally, it's the whole screen, dog. This is crazy. The patrons, of course, the Hall of Fame members, man. Y'all got the gold color. It's kind of yellow, but it's supposed to be gold. Shout out to all the members, man. If you want to be a part of this, all you got to do is join the channel. But there are perks that come with it. Stay locked in the community tab if you are a member, because that's where a lot of information comes out. I appreciate all of you. What?